Hi, my crafty friend. So many here with another journal tutorial. Blah. This is not a tutorial with another journal idea, video idea. So I'm gonna do this time. I'm gonna use my mini journal. Journal. It's been a while that I've been using this one because I like more using a bigger page. And I'm trying really to finish that one because I'm so close to the end of my big journal that I barely touched this one. But when you don't know exactly what do you want to have on a page and just have enjoy, let's say, the process and not having a real focal point, but more adding a quote and that's it, or some lines and that's it. I think the miniature journal is the one that I'm reaching for that scope. And even if you are a beginner and you don't want to focus on big project and just having a small and fun, really small book is gonna help more. And this one is just an old planner that I'm not using anymore because I moved to from a structured planner to a Bujo system, so a bullet journal system that I like more. And so instead of throwing this away, I just decided to convert into in a journal, our journal. And the only thing that I had to do is to glue uh, two pages together, so then you have a bit thicker pages to work on, but for the rest everything was fine. Sometimes I gesso before working on it just because you saw in the beginning there are some lines on for the box for let's say the weekly spread, because this is a planner that I want to hide before playing on that. But this time I just wanted to go directly with the acrylic paint, and I had three colors using there, and I was using the technique wet on wet. So while the background was still wet, I was just adding few stroke, and that was softening a little bit the edge of the stroke there. And I was staying, as you can see, I mean the color base scheme, I would just want to have brownish style style there. And now I decided to add on this page some free doodling, because time to time, it's needed to have just don't think about anything, just go ahead and put some lines on the page and see what come up in the end. And just enjoy the moment of playing with the material that you have. That's basically what is the page. And if you never did, I'm really encouraged you to do it, like watch a movie while you're doing this one, or listen music, and yeah, just go with it. The only advice that I want to give you to make some doodling page, I think it works better, let's say, having a different marker tip size. So you will have, in this case I used like the brush pen marker, black, to do the bold lines, and then those are kind of the first line, the first shape of what I'm drawing there. That again, those are just abstract lines, but you can even have a specific shape in mind and you want to put there. And it's better if you start with the main shape, using like kind of the ball tip, and then going inside, adding some lines, details and doodling with the smaller tip, and then going even further and further. So in the end I use it like, I think in this one, yes, I used the one brush marker and then three different size point of the marker, and adding details and doodling. And you will see, I mean, those are really simple doodling. I didn't want to think too much about it. I just wanted to have some lines here and there, and even if again those are abstract and doesn't mean anything and doesn't have any I didn't have any composition in mind. I just went with what I saw there and go with the flow. And I started with the lines, then I add curved lines and then dots. This is basically my main shape for doodling, and time to time I like to do as well. So while I'm doing this one, just want to chitty chat a little bit again, give you an update. So as I was saying last time, making an easy page, doodling page, or a splatter page, etc., helps release some stress. And that's basically the continue on what I was doing on the other journal, on the other page. And so I decided to, to start slowly to kind of be back on track. And so before I was doing the splat, now this time I'm just gonna do some doodling and free, let's say, my feeling and anxiety and stress over there. And it's a process that helps everyone. And if you really have a piece of paper, you don't have to make really a big art, but if you feel stress and some anxiety, just take a piece of paper and just draw something, some lines, some circle. This is always gonna help. At least it's gonna help me. And that's what I'm doing here. And then we are gonna focus on one side of the page. I wanted to have some more kind of focal point, but focal point again doodling in doodling style. So I'm just gonna create some flowers. I wanted to have 3 flowers on that side, so with different size, so one smaller, one shorter, one longer, and one medium. So to have kind of movement on that side and adding doodlings there. And to avoid to create a mess when you do those kind of projects, especially if you have some black marker that can smear a little bit, remind really to use a piece of paper or just a towel just to protect the page, so then while you are working on one side you are not gonna smear anything on the other side. That's what I'm doing there right now, and I'm just gonna fill in the top part of the page with some additional doodling. And when you start those kind of projects, it's always like that. So you have those big section that kind of make you at least that's with me, make me worried about what I'm gonna do inside, how much detail I will do it. I mean, I'm tired, I don't want to do so much inside that to fill it in all this big section. But really, if you work small piece by pieces, you will then end up adding details and details and details, and if you know me, you will add a lot of details without even notice basically. And it's it's not easy to start, let's say, because you see such a big section, but it's not easy even to stop basically because you like to see even more lines and more curvy lines here and there. So it's a nice way to free your mind and just focus on the moment, enjoy the moment, and that's it. And so when I am satisfied with that section, basically I'm just gonna move on adding some details on the flowers as well, because I cannot leave like that. Everything else is such full of details. So I kind of going following the shape of the flowers. I think that's the technique that I'm using. And I'm just adding a curvy line to kind of uh, fill in the petals basically. And I think I like in the end how it turned out. It's much better than what I thought in the beginning, but okay, any project has the ugly face, and this had too as well. When I had just few lines in the page, I was like, what I'm doing here. Anyway, when I finished all the doodling. I'm just waiting a little bit to dry everything to make sure that all the black line are really dried. And then I wanted to add just a little bit of color on the flowers, and then I'm gonna add some colors also on the other section to kind of pop a little bit more from the background. I'm not introducing any different tone. I'm just using some what I have in my stash. So I'm using just some pit marker that I have in my stash with pinkish, let's say, colors and brownish colors, because it's going is married well with the background, and adding just a few color here and there in the doodling section. Not a lot of thought about that, just adding colors when I think is needed, and then adding some highlights with the Posca marker. And that's basically it. I'm just gonna focus on the quote. I wanted to have just a really simple quote, because I didn't have anything in mind really. So I went with the simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. That's easy peasy. few words, let's say, over there, and I just have the word simplicity and sophistication in a cursive style and in a false modern calligraphy style. False because I first write it down with the normal pen and then creating some bold side with the pen itself. And that's basically it. This was a tough voiceover, to be honest, but I hope that you like the project, and I leave some close-up picture in the end as always, and I leave also the playlist for the mini art journal project that I have on this journal. I hope you had fun, and yeah, see you soon. Bye bye.